Welcome to this beautiful Thursday session. And today is Holy Mother Sarada's birthday. Swami Vivekananda's Guru Mother and Paramahansa Ramakrishna's holy consort. A divine union and beyond all physical and yet spiritually so powerful. You know what? We went around today and I'll share with you all these pictures. It is so powerful. We went to Ramakrishna Mission, Shadama and I and one other lady and devotee. We went to Sarada Mutt. Such beautiful. There were thousands of lamp lit all around the temple, and it was far, far greater than Diwali, and it was looking so powerful, beautiful. You know, the Holy Mother Sarada's birthday, as per Tithi, is on 15th of December. And today's date it has fallen, which is a Thursday. And we are approaching the Christmas time. Merry Christmas is in the air. And whether you're Christian or Hindu or Islamic or belief or Jain or Sikhism or whatever, there's merriment in the air. And there is a bash coming up for Christmas time, the Christmas day, and things are specially cooked and food are shared, and everybody is given lots of cakes and pastries, and the poor are fed, isn't it? And shared with a little bit of whatever we can share with the destitute. And to the elders, those destitute homes, and not to forget our own little children in the family. They're all looking forward for the Christmas time. Santa Claus is coming, and the New Year bash and the New Year resolutions will start, isn't it? That today I thought, along with the Holy Mother's message, we want to start with one message of the Holy Mother, and it strikes such important. I'll go with the two small messages of Mother. I will carry her book and Paramahansa Ramakrishna's one book and Vivekananda's one book in the pocket all the time. They got such powerful. You know, when I look at these messages, they give you strength, power to face any adversities in life and continue to guide you and me, those who are struggling along through the road of this samsara, boggled with our mind of the beautiful messages giving you strength to face the world. So, Holy Mother's message. If you want peace in your life, do not find fault with anyone. And that anyone means anyone. That anyone means including you yourself. How can you find fault with yourself? What do you have to do? What special effort do we have to do to become good? You are good. You're born good. You're the Brahman. But understand one thing. What has happened in yours and my life is G-O-O-D is good. But good, G-O-O-D, good, without G-O-D, God, is zero. What does that mean? G-O-O-D. I remove one zero, it becomes G-O-D, God. So good without God is zero. Left is what? Zero. It means what? You have to be pure in heart. And today I wish to share with you this not finding fault with people, Holy Mother's message. It also goes ahead with the messages of what Jesus Christ had said. If you want peace, my child, let others, if you want peace, my child, let others' will be done. Whatever others are wanting to do, let them happen. And not my will. I must make my will. Automatically happens when you don't find fault with people. You find what they're saying is okay. Even if it doesn't tally with me, in my understanding, let that happen. You will have enormous peace. And you will not become a doormat either. You know what happens? Is that when you pay respect to the other's wish, honor their words, they honor your wish and your words. So today, coming into the Jesus Christ teaching, Jesus Christ took his chosen 16 disciples to the nearby mountain, and that's called the Sermon on the Mount. And in the book of Matthew, the Sermon on the Mount is explained. And Leo Tolstoy says, the Sermon on the Mount is to make connections with the heaven and earth. And there are lots of teachings which goes ahead and says it is to make connections with the heaven and the earth. It is to enlighten the people and the masters. This is Sermon on the Mount, Jesus Christ. And this is written by an Indian monk, Ramakrishna Mission, Swami Pranavananda. I'm going to share with some of the thoughts, and these are very powerful, extremely good. Should listen to them and walk them. I want you to know that in the teachings of the Jesus Christ, this is another book, Imitation of Christ. This book, Swami Vivekananda, wherever he went around, he is to travel with two books with him. One was Ashtavakra Gita, and the second was this book, The Imitation of Christ. A very powerful book, and this is written by Thomas Kempis, long time back, but very famous. And it has been translated again and again for more than, they say, hundreds of languages. Now, the third book which I wish to offer is The Lost Teachings of Jesus Christ. I'm going to share with you a few of the excerpts from there. And, Jesus Christ took them to the mount. The sermon of Jesus in the mountain. And he spoke secretively to only those who were to become the monk in the order of the Jesus Christ, Christianity. Most great masters do that. Ramana Maharshi used to do that. Paramahansa Ramakrishna would take Swami Vivekananda, Brahmananda, Shivananda. He would take them to the room, close the doors, look out, see nobody is coming and watching, and he will talk to them, give you choices of the everything. The Sermon on the Mount, Jesus Christ has given it in very short, beautiful scriptures. I will explain a few words. The epitome of all of them, I find most importantly, this has been illumined by Swami Pranavananda, and I came to know more and research of it through the explanation Swami Sarva Priyananda. And so beautifully it has been explained. Pranavananda's explanations are also there, Sermon on the Mount. And here the price statement of the Jesus is on I would say the crystal, the diamond in the whole statement is, blessed are those who are poor in spirit. Blessed are those who are poor in spirit, for they shall see God. Just imagine, if you are poor in spirit, you should see God. You know what? This is what Krishna had told Arjuna in the 13th chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Amanityam Adam Nityam. Amanityam means I have something to learn. That humbleness, that forgetting that ego. These days, Pranavananda is writing, obviously those days apparently, people decide when they come to the Guru, they already know I'm the best disciple my Guru can ever have. And they also feel, I know everything. So there is one guy comes to a Zen master and says, teach me. I want to learn Zen meditation. So the Zen master politely started teaching, and this gentleman said, I know about it all. I have read it in that book. The Zen master started opened another topic, and see, he's very impatient. He just said, I know that too. And then the Zen master said, I understand. So he starts a tea ceremony, Zen tea ceremony, and he starts pouring tea into the disciples' cup, and the cup fills up, and Zen cups are very small, and it starts to overflow. And the sitting place is very low down near the ground, only this much. Sarada ma'am and I, we had a wonderful opportunity in a Buddhist camp in Japan to have a tea ceremony. And as it starts to flow, the disciples say, stop, it is overflowing. The Zen master said, precisely, unless your cup is empty, how will you drink my tea? You get the metaphor? Same thing happened. Another guy comes down to in Rishikesh and tells one of the foreigner. I know the story which country, but it's unfair to mention a country because one person represents the country. And he comes and says, I want to learn meditation, teach me meditation. So the yogi master, he starts talking about Ashtanga yoga, ayama, niyama, the basic spiritual discipline first. Ahimsa, satya, he starts up. And as he starts saying, you have to tell truth, you have to stop. He said, oh, come on, from childhood onwards, somebody or the other is telling me about all this, don't tell lies and don't hate people. I know about all that. You teach me how to breathe and how to meditation and how to sit down. So the master smiles and says, in Hindi, it goes like this, which of course, in English translation, I'll give it to you. He said, do you want to learn Ashtanga yoga or do you want to learn Vikalanga yoga? Meaning, if you chop off the 2 limbs, that means what? Not the 8 limbs, but maybe 6 limbs or 4 limbs. Krishna's statement to Arjuna, Amanityam Adam Nityam. Amanityam, I'm humble. I want to learn. I understand the teachings. I read the books. I listen, Shravanam Mananam. I am reflecting, but I'm not understanding it as yet. I would like to ask some question. That's one way. Adam Nityam, Krishna is telling Arjuna, is show off religion. Have you noticed? When you go to the meditation camp, some people sitting down and with a big smile in his face, because you're supposed to feel very harmonious, and they're feeling great, blissful. Show off of religion. There's a beautiful 12th century. There's 21st century, 9 centuries before. 21st century, there was a play in which this is Adam Nityam is given, and it's called Prabodha Chandodaya. It's a Sanskrit play, and it goes on to show that there is a typical Pandit who would sprinkle Ganges water everywhere, wherever he goes, to purify that place. So it shows on the play that because of his piousness, gods invite him to the God's heaven for one of the celebrations. He comes there and he tries to, and he's been shown by the usher, this is your chair, this is your seat. So he starts sprinkling the Ganges water there. Everywhere he goes and he sprinkles Ganges water. Show off religion on my path, on my things. Everything should be pure. Then Brahma himself, the creator of this universe, as per the Hindu mythology, calls him and says, I find there is no place for you to sit. So you come and sit on my lap, Brahma's lap. And as the play goes, he goes and throws Ganga's pani in Brahma's lap also. Now, this is show of religion. There was a monk, actually, of one of the Ramakrishna mission monk, and I hear it from Sarvapriyananda Swami, one of the very ancient monk in Banaras. When he would get the postcard letters from the devotees, those days no emails and messages and WhatsApp, postcards would come. So he will tell the postman, throw it down, and he will put sprinkle Ganges water on that, and then he will take it up and tell one of his junior disciples, now read it to me. By then half the print is already gone, and it was so difficult for them. This is show of religion. We must not show off religion. The very beginning of spiritual life comes when we are humble. We have shraddha to what the teacher is teaching, what the guru is teaching, and we choose to bend down and search for wisdom. Paramahansa Ramakrishna says, when you are really thirsty, imagine you're in the desert for days, you have walked and no water to drink, and you find a little water, and it's not a mirage, actually there is water. He says you will remove the scum, even if there is scum, and you will drink that water. Same way, is that humbleness should come to you and me when we want to get that spiritual knowledge. The blessed are the poor in spirit, for there is the kingdom of heaven, they shall see God. This Sermon on the Mount is actually written down on the lines of the Vedanta, but the Sermon on the Mount quoted, it is primarily for seeing God, understanding God, realizing God, and you can actually see God if you follow these principles. This seeing God is can't be thought of. We do not think that we are egoistic person, and we think the others have a big ego. Actually, we need to become so humble to understand. There is this asking questions. True. Right way to ask question, wrong way to ask question. Wrong way, I know you're wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'll point out to your mistakes by referring some book or something or the other. I'm not listening. I'm trying to find out faults. Right way to ask is, I understand all this. I believe, I have the respect. I need to learn, but I'm not finding it. And normally you will find people would say, I don't need God. I don't believe in God. Swami Vivekananda says, there is the other day, one Portuguese gentleman who is now settled down in America, and he said, I'm a Portuguese, I love to come to Goa. And he's become an IB teacher. He came down for a session, very learned person, very thinking. And as I started talking to him, he said, I'm an atheist. And you know what Vivekananda says? Atheist is the person who does not believe in himself. It's nothing to do with God. When you are doubtful about your own self, do we have any doubt that we exist? No. And this is what Jesus Christ is saying. Sermon on the Mount was to realize God. Don't have doubt about yourself. Kingdom of heaven, Jesus Christ is saying, within you. Knock, and the door shall open for you. When you go to the first statement of the Sermon on the Mount goes on to say, the blessed are the poor in spirit was in between. I feel that is the climax of one of the best. The first Sermon on the Mount is, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Those who mourn, those who really cry. And great masters, Paramahansa Ramakrishna used to say that We cry bucketful of tears for our children, for their sickness, for our dear ones, for loss of money, for loss of a court case, or worry about profits and losses. But who cries for God? You know the famous story of Prahlada? And once that story was being told, and it is said in Kathamrita, Gospels of Ramakrishna, as he was being spoken, Ramakrishna started crying. And everybody was surprised. It was just a story. And they saying, no, it possibly has happened that. And maybe the great avatars, they remember those stories. Sometimes, some thousands of years ago, must have happened. So, intention is those who mourn, what Jesus Christ is saying, that if I in this life have not had your vision, let me not forget. Let me be haunted with the thought that I did not see God. My entire life is gone. I have not seen you. Let me be haunted. Let me not forget. I have so many things in my house, furnitures and cupboards and beauty and diamond and gold and jewelry, but I do not have you, my God. Let me not forget. Let me not forget. If on the path, the road that I take, and I sit down to play on the dust, with the dust and the dirt, let me not forget, this road leads to you. I have to travel and not stop. What did Swami Vivekananda say? He said something beautiful. He said, those who leave their wives and husbands and children and family and parents, run off to mountain Himalaya, thinking I'm going to pray for God and live there and then die there till I find God, has missed the boat. And he said, those who plunge in headlong into this life, samsara, and to the pleasures and enjoyments and joy, they too have missed the boat. He said, what should you do? He says, defy the life. Find divinity in your current life. Find God in the person in front of you, in the samsara, in every object. And that God is in Dvaita, is the God, is the Krishna and Shiva and Brahma, Mother Kali, Divine Mother, Mother of the Universe, Mother Durga, Mother Saraswati, Lakshmi, Vaishnamata, Kali Mata, like that. Or in Advaita, discover that secret power from within you, that Aham Brahmasmi, Tat Tvamasi. Let me close today's session with one statement from Nicaragua, Swami, and one statement from Mother, Holy Mother statement. Nicaragua, Swami, he was running off, leaving Mumbai, that from where he was in that slum area, going to Himalayas. And as he left, little way through up, he said, where am I going? Why is the God of the Brahman only there? He came back and he lived in his slum. And he is discovered to be that he's found Brahman. So somebody came and said, sir, you are Brahma Jnani. He said, don't insult me. He said, what insult, sir? I am praising you. See, you are a Brahma Jnani. He said, no, I'm not Brahma Jnani. I'm not knower of Brahman. I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. He said, I am Brahman. And so are you and me. Yours and my journey is to now to realize this in this life itself. And the statement from Holy Mother Sarada. Once she found that somebody in the ashram, in the Ramakrishna mission, was sweeping. And then after sweeping, she just threw the stick and the jharu like that into the corner. And she quietly went and said, my child, what did you do? Don't you know? God is even in that broom. The Divine Mother is in that broom. She picked it up and put it properly. So you and I, whatever we have in our life and whoever we have in life, keep reminding yourself to see God in them. However, discrepancies in the opinion, mismatch of mind may take place, just see the divinity. And when you do that, you will see automatically the mismatches will vanish and the minds will match. Why? Because the ego will go away. You have a beautiful day. Let's meet on Sunday. Let's finish with our prayers. Asato ma satkamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato ma satkamaya. Take us from unreal to real. This is that world we are playing in the dirt. And from ignorance, we are not understanding who we are. We think I am this name, form, and function, Robbin Ghosh, this body, this is me. To discover who am I. And then it will take you from death, the body dies. You never die. This is the Advaita. One alone remains. Jai Guru.